The Joe Rogan Experience.
Tell people what you did, because it's pretty crazy.
So I did what's called free climbing. I free climbed a route on El Capitan, which is a 3,200 foot cliff in Yosemite National Park, and I did it in under 24 hours.
That is a long way to go.
Yeah.
3,200 and...
It's something. 3,200 feet is what I say. I think it might just be like a little more than that.
When you're halfway there, Emily Harrington becomes the first woman to scale El Capitan via its notoriously difficult Golden Gate route. Why is that route more difficult?
Well, okay, so...
Is it route or route?
I don't think it really matters. I say
Should.
route.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
should.
So essentially, El Cap is this giant cliff face, and there's hundreds of routes up El Cap, different like pathways you can take. And right now, there's currently only like 15 ways to get up it via free climbing. Free climbing being using only your hands and feet to ascend, and a rope in case you fall. And I chose the route called Golden Gate, which is more difficult than the route Freerider, which people are very familiar with because that's the route that Alex Honnold free soloed, meaning he climbed it without a rope.
Yeah, that seems insane. So you're less insane than him.
Oh, yeah. Definitely less insane than him. Alex is a dear friend of mine, but there are some things I don't understand about him.
Yeah, I don't know if he understands those things about him.
No, I mean, I have an enormous amount of respect for him, but what he does is truly remarkable.
You bonked your head while you're doing it too, huh? I could see the mark on your forehead.
See the scar. And that's actually the second time I hit my head trying to do this. Last year I had a really bad fall, wound up in the hospital, full concussion, the whole thing. This time it was slightly less serious, but maybe more dramatic because it happened like way higher up on the wall.
Oof! How high were you up?
2,800 feet, I'd say, like almost to the top. It was very dramatic.
What happened?
So the day was actually going really well. I've been trying to do this for a few years now. Probably, I would say 3 years I've been working towards this goal. And I'd actually done the route in 2015 over the course of 6 days. And I really wanted to like do the same route in 24 hours.
Can I stop you there? When you do it over 6 days, do you sleep on the route?
Yeah, that's how most people climb El Cap. They sleep on the wall. It takes like 5 to 7 days or so.
That seems more sketchy.
It's different because there's a lot more logistics involved, right? Like imagine you have to like live in the vertical world for days on end. So think about everything you do, like from when you wake up to when you go to bed.
Including pooing.
Oh yeah.
You have to poo vertically?
Yeah, we use wag bags or like, little like plastic bags, and you like go in that bag and then you put it in another bag and
then carry it with you? So you
carry
carry
and
your
you put
poo
it in
for 7
another
days?
bag. You put it in another bag and then you like hang it below everything. And you take it up with you.
Oh.
And then you take it. Yeah, you don't leave it.
Oh,
Obviously.
no, I would imagine. Stuff it in a crack up there. Is that someone
there you
pooing?
Go. No, that's just someone hanging out.
Oh.
That's like how you do it when you live on the wall. So you have that ledge.
Like the Michael Jackson song.
What?
Living on the wall.
Yeah.
Know that song?
No.
You know?
I'm not familiar.
It's a famous song. So you sleep in that thing. I would get zero sleep. I don't like sleeping when I'm near the edge of my bed.
It's
I
amazing
get nervous.
how exhausted you are at the end of the day and how used to how used to it you get. You just adjust. The human body is like humans are really remarkable in their ability to like adapt to things. And so it's pretty cool how, it's really scary at first, but then the more you do it, the more you're just like, okay, well, this is kind of normal.
You, when you're sleeping in that thing, are you fully harnessed in and strapped in?
You sleep in a harness, and you just usually have like a loose like rope or sling or something attached to the anchor point. So like if you roll out, if you're one of those people that like rolls out of bed at night, then
yikes,
you don't fall to your death.
Could you imagine up there, just the feeling of like waking up swinging, hanging from your harness?
He has actually, see how he has that sling around his waist?
No.
That's just like,
that little rope?
Yeah, that's like last resort. Like that's Tommy Caldwell.
Tommy Caldwell, you're a psycho.
He he free climbed perhaps the hardest big wall in the world, also on El Cap, called the Dawn Wall. And he was up there for 17 days. So when you'd imagine
What?
17 days, like,
Look at all this stuff. That's like he's like a
Yeah, a lot of
homeless
stuff.
person up there.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
You know, like the homeless people have those little camps. He's a maniac. That's a crazy person. Look at him checking his fingernails.
Yeah. You see, he's also actually missing a finger, which is pretty rare for an elite level rock climber.
Oh wow! What happened to his finger?
I believe it was a table saw accident, home improvement accident.
Ooh! And so he's using everything but his index.
Yeah, he kind of climbs. He kind of climbs like this and uses the
nub.
The nub. He's definitely. Tommy's one of my true heroes, ultimate climbing hero.
That is a very small clique, right?
Yeah.
Of savage psychos that are willing to climb gigantic mountain faces.
Yeah, it's a relatively small group. I mean, it's growing. Climbing is definitely growing in popularity, but it definitely used to be like a little bit, like a small little community, and I think we still feel that way.
Is there a danger in the climbing world, or not a danger, a concern, I should say, of people who are seeing people like Alex Honnold and yourself become famous and get all this attention from these very dangerous climbs, and they want to perhaps accelerate their progress and jump right in and try to do some really risky things?
I mean, I could see that being a danger, especially with like what Alex does, climbing without a rope. I would still argue that what I do is a relatively safe form of climbing. I climb with a rope. When I fall, the rope catches me. It's super safe. When I fall, the rope catches me. Free climbing El Cap in a day, what I just did, I definitely cut some corners and took more risk. But that's an achievement that not many people have done or really strive to do. And so I think for the most part, climbing is actually a very controlled, very safe activity, and you can make it as dangerous as you want it to be. Does that make sense?
Yes, I understand what you're saying. So if you're a person like Alex that's deciding, he maps these routes, he does them with ropes, and then he's like, I can do this.
Yes. And Alex is so unique in a way, and I think anyone that watches the movie Free Solo, anyone that talks to Alex understands that what he does is it's so well thought out and it's so well planned, and every single decision he makes is very calculated. And I think that that's just and I think that that's a testament to what climbing is truly about. We're not out to go feel an adrenaline rush when we go climbing. Like if you're feeling adrenaline, it essentially means like you messed up, like something's wrong. And climbing is very much more about like the movement and the challenge and the mental challenge of all of it than going out and like trying to get a thrill.
How did you get involved in this?
I started climbing when I was 10 years old. I grew up in Boulder, Colorado, and my parents used to take me to the Boulder Reservoir, this lake. Me and my
Do you
cousins.
have a Subaru?
I did have a Subaru.
Everyone in Boulder has a Subaru.
I got a Subaru for my 16th birthday.
That's like
An
70%
Outback.
of the
It's
cars
true.
out there.
Yeah, green Subaru.
Because they're so practical. They work in the snow.
Yeah, I had it for years. So anyway, my parents took me to the lake, and they had this little festival there. And I'm an only child. I grew up with my two cousins who were boys, and we were just like super competitive with each other all the time. Like all I wanted to do was be better than them at like literally anything. It didn't matter what it was. So we were at this lake, and they had a little festival with one of those rock towers, the ones that they let the kids climb on. And we all tried to climb the wall, and I just remember it was like, well, I have to go to the top because they went to the top, and there was like no other option. But the interesting thing that happened when I was climbing was it was just this feeling of like, oh, this is what I'm meant to do. Like it was like I just felt like I belonged up there. And I remember the feeling so vividly, even now, 23 years later. It was like I was scared, but I kind of liked it. And I got down and I was like, Dad, I want to go climbing. Like that's what I want to do. I want to quit everything else. I was a gymnast. I played soccer. I was a ski racer. I was like, I don't want to do any of that anymore. I just want to climb.
Episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience are now free on Spotify. That's right, they're free. From September 1st to December 1st, they're going to be available everywhere. But after December 1st, they will only be available on Spotify, but they will be free. That includes the video. The video will also be there. It'll also be free. That's all we're asking. Just go download Spotify. Much love. Bye-bye.